Dr. 832, y'all already know how I do. I want to do a video on Silly Bitch Whyte. According to reports, Silly Bitch Whyte, better known to the boxing public as Dillian Whyte, but he's no longer going to get his name from me. I'm just going to call him Silly Bitch Whyte. Silly Bitch Whyte is petitioning against the WBC because his punk ass is too chicken to fight Louis Ortiz. So, you talked all this shit about Deontay Wilder is fighting an old man and how he should be fighting you and you should be the mandatory. Look, nigga, let's be clear. The WBC, according to its rule book, from page 12 to page 14, clearly states that the number one contender is not the mandatory, and they reserve the right to make you fight a title eliminator. You know, if for those who don't see this, go to my Facebook page. I mean my Instagram at Jimmy J Smooth on Instagram, and you will clearly see what the WBC rules. I posted that because I called Dillian Whyte a hoe, and I tagged Louis Ortiz and his management team. Shout out to those brothers. Give this man a fucking chance. Give Louis Ortiz a chance to fight you. Since Louis Ortiz is such an old man, he's so much garbage. He's so slow, according to Silly Bitch Whyte. Why don't you go on and knock King Kong out and then prove yourself? See, the thing is, the WBC is gonna laugh this motherfucker out the motherfucking WBC office. The thing is, just because you're the number one contender, and brother Fanon International, or as I call him, Fanon Esquire, shout out to that brother. He even said the same thing that I've been saying in one of his videos about Dillian Whyte, when he said about Dillian Whyte bragging about he's the mandatory. The number one contender is not automatically the number one. The number one contender is not automatically the mandatory according to the WBC. It also says in the rule book that if he don't, I mean, unfortunately, he don't have a point because the rule is the rules. You know, if he's the number one contender, the WBC, I agree too. I got Louis Ortiz beating the shit out this dude, and I'm gonna be honest with you. If Joshua had to end up fighting Louis Ortiz, he would have been knocked out. If he had to let that man hit him with a left hand, the left hand that Wilder took, Anthony Joshua would have been on that floor. I'm just gonna keep it 1,010. But the WBC rules says that the number one contender, the number one contender is not the mandatory. You know, and they could make you fight two title eliminators before you become the mandatory. He's not the number one. He's just the number one contender. He's not the mandatory. You know, he could fight two title eliminators before he get to Deontay Wilder. And the thing is, if the WBC, you know, they push for unification fights. And Fanon said in one of the rule books, I didn't go this far down in the rule book. I did, but I don't know what page is on. But he says that if the WBC president sees the rule, feels like it's in the best interest of boxing, he can rule on how he sees the thing fit. Say what? Say what? But he was coming off a title eliminator with the guy with coming off with the loss. Yeah, he's fighting a title eliminator because with the fact that Louis Ortiz was the number three contender, and he jumped. I think the reason why they're making Louis Ortiz the in a title eliminator because he was. At the time he lost to Wilder, he's number 3. And in most sanctioning bodies, a lot of times when a guy's number 3 and he gets beat by the champion, he either drops a spot or they can put him in a title eliminator. And so since he never had the true mandatory position, I think they're giving him another opportunity to get the mandatory spot since the fight was so good. WBC does that a lot as well. So the thing with Dillian and Whyte, him protesting this, the rules are the rules. You're not going to just frog leap Deontay Wilder because you see the rule. You want the rules to fit your best interest. The WBC rule says if the president sees Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder in the best interest of boxing, he can rule on how he sees it fit if he feels like it's in the best interest of boxing. It says that in the rule book. I don't know which. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, silly bitch Whyte just want to be a fucking distraction to boxing. Because the number one fight in boxing right now, my Mexican friends will say Canelo versus Triple G still is, even though Canelo was pop dirty, you know what I'm saying? And, his hair follicles came out clean, so, but nevertheless, he was ruled as dirty. My Mexican friends will say Canelo versus Triple G. Okay, I'll let you have that one. But I'm going to say this. Right now, at this point in time, with the money on the table, right now, Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua has to be the biggest fight in boxing at this point. Because, number one, the money can make a lot of money in the UK and in the United States. Because, let's say Sky Sports have control. The thing about the Deontay Wilder-Joshua fight, that can make a lot of money for Sky Sports. And Deontay Wilder's team will be controlling all the pay-per-view revenue in the United States. So it's a win-win situation either way. I think a Wilder-Joshua fight in the States. Yeah, I'm sitting in the dark right now, man. I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling, dog. Sometimes I gotta be faceless, but no. A Wilder-Joshua fight is big because we're talking about two heavyweights, two great heavyweights at this point. So the fight has to happen at this point. Somebody drops you off $50 million, it's going to be worse than... Yeah, it has to be in the States to generate that kind of revenue. But don't get me wrong, Sky Sports is going to sell 1 million pay-per-views in England for sure. They're going to do 1 million pay-per-views in England, possibly the biggest in English history. But it's going to generate revenue on both sides of the pond, but it does need to happen in the States. And Shelly Finkel, Al Heyman, and Jay Diaz, who are Deontay Wilder's manager / advisor, they have a history. Well, between Shelly Finkel and Al Heyman, they have a history of doing big pay-per-view numbers. So this pay-per-view fight could be up there with one of the biggest in history in terms of pay-per-view revenue. So Wilder Joshua needs to happen. Otherwise, Eddie Booty Burn Hearn reputation is gone. I mean, Frank Warren has already stepped in and clowned Eddie Booty Burn Hearn. He's already clowned him, his rival opponent up there in England. Shout out to Frank Warren. Eddie Booty Burn Hearn is looking bad right now. Deep down, subconsciously, all these Eddie Booty Burn Hearn fans is looking bad right now. Now they trying to make an excuse. They trying to fish for an excuse, but deep down, they know the facts are the facts, and the facts is they're scared of Anthony Joshua taking that L, which is why he's asking for $50 million. He's like, if I'm gonna take this ass whooping, at least compensate me for the ass whooping I'm about to take against Windmill Wilder, as they call him in England, which they scared of Wilder. They know Deontay Wilder got that vibranium in his right hand. Oh man, don't go there. Don't go there, brother Ty. Come on, Ty. Oh, you wrong for that shit, dog. Say I'm hiding in the dark like Eric Snowden. Oh, you ain't shit for that one. But no, player. Oh, you wrong for that shit. But no, dog. Eddie Booty Burn Heard is out of there, bro. In terms of his reputation. If that fight don't happen next, he out of there. He out of there. How the fuck you gonna explain turning down $50 million? I mean, I think it will happen too. You know, so Eddie Booty Burn Hearn is the jig is up for Eddie Booty Burn Hearn. So I think it's gonna happen next, and I think that's gonna be a pay-per-view fight. And I think Deontay Wilder, after he puts Anthony Joshua on his ass and exposes him for the hype job that he is, then yeah, it's gonna be a rematch between Ortiz and Deontay Wilder. Yeah. Silly bitch Whyte is gonna get knocked out by Louis Ortiz, or he's gonna end up fighting Pulev. If he can't have his way, which he's not gonna get his way, I'm telling you that right now. He gonna fight Pulev, scary ass Pulev. Yeah, yeah, he can still come back and beat him in a rematch. I mean, Louis Ortiz's right hand is a beast, dude. And silly bitch Whyte is scared. He knows that the jig is up with silly. Silly bitch Whyte know his jig is up. Silly bitch Whyte know his jig is up. And he was put in there as a pawn. And the funny thing is, silly bitch Whyte blocked me on Instagram because I clowned his Hakuna Matata Timon and Pumbaa head having ass motherfucker. I clowned that motherfucker so bad that he blocked me on Instagram. And I don't give a fuck because Hakuna Matata, silly bitch Whyte, he gonna lose. Real talk. Hakuna Matata, silly bitch Whyte is gonna lose. Would lose to Wilder. You know, they want to throw all these scapegoats with silly bitch Whyte. I'm like, dude. And Tony Bellew, pretty Ricky Bellew, pretty Ricky Conlon Bellew, he better stop. Tony Bellew would get knocked out in one round. I don't know why he trying to throw all these peasants out here. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. But if Bellew jump in the ring with Deontay Wilder, it's gonna be just like when he fought Adonis Stevenson at light heavyweight. You know, it's gonna be just like that. When he fought Adonis Stevenson at light heavyweight, you know what happened. And I can't blame him. Shit. I can't blame him. Pretty Ricky Bellew want zero smoking. Pretty Ricky Bellew is gonna get fucked up against Wilder. He out of there in one round. He's too significant at a disadvantage in reach. That's first off. his reach, he's at a serious reach at disadvantage. I think Deontay Wilder's reach is like 84 inches. That's exactly what's gonna happen. This dude is over a foot. This dude is over a foot in a reach disadvantage. And then his fighting style ain't like Mike Tyson, to where he can use that reach as a disadvantage for him. Yeah, I've heard the interview because 78 mentioned something like that, but you're welcome to send it to me anyway. But uh yeah, the dude is over a foot in reach at a reach disadvantage, and he doesn't have a fighting style to where he can use that as a disadvantage, like Mike Tyson or somebody. You know, Mike Tyson, it didn't matter how many inches of reach you had, you know, because he was well over a foot in reach at disadvantage all the time. But Mike Tyson had the head movement and the bobbing and weaving to take advantage of people when it came to that. You know, people don't realize, people forget how short Mike Tyson was. you know, so that disadvantage in reach is not gonna matter to Mike Tyson because he's gonna use your reach against you. Whereas Pretty Ricky Bellew, he's gonna be at the end of that jab every time, and people sleep on how good Deontay Wilder's jab is. Oh yeah, people forget. People forget how good how much of a disadvantage in reaching Mike Tyson is. They thought he was just running up on motherfuckers and just knocking them out, but that surely was not the case. So yeah, man, Pretty Ricky Bell, you gonna die. He gonna be ugly Ricky after 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 Deontay Wilder get through with his ass. He needs to stick to the Rocky movies or the Creed movie. That's what he need to do. He need to come back in the Creed movie, the next Creed movie, because that's what he is. Shit. He should have stuck his ass over there at cruiserweight. I understand David Hay. It was some big money fighting David Hay, but dude, you should have stuck at cruiserweight. Because I think he would have given some people a run for their money at cruiserweight. You know, everybody except Usyk or maybe I don't know, but I think he could have did some good things at cruiser. Real talk. But yeah, silly bitch Whyte is scared. He's scared of Ortiz. He really scared, and he need to take that. He need to go on and take that ass whooping. With all that shit you talking, you put your foot where your mouth is. So it is what it is. So man, Dillian Whyte need to go on and take that ass whooping and get it over with, man. The sooner the better. So once again, this your boy, live and direct in full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how I do. Peace out.